is Vince Carter with his first shot.
Let's go home. Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go home. Let's go home.
The Palestra Group got the ball rolling for Toronto and for Canada. They woke the NBA up to the potential of the country and the city. First off the mark, first with a check, but in the end, that meant little. The league has elected to deal with the group headed by John Bitove Jr.
Exemplify that we want to work to grow the sport from coast to coast, get stronger and better in both the men's and women's world championships and Olympics every 4 years, and to help them with marketing. As they win, we all win.
Future Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas is the team's first vice president of operations.
We want to create the ultimate atmosphere for players to perform and have fun in. We want to be very entertaining.
The official naming of your team, one that is ready to join the animal kingdom of teams in the NBA. The newest, freshest, and hungriest look in the NBA. Ladies and gentlemen, the Raptors are born.
The teams that usually win dominate on the defensive end and dominate the boards, and that's what we want to do. I like to run. I like to push the ball up the court. I like to press and trap if the players are on the roster.
You have no idea what Toronto is going to do with the expansion players that they've drafted if they are going to move some of them to other teams and get a different type of player back. I think the draft changes now.
With the 7th pick in the 1995 NBA draft, their first draft and their first pick, the Toronto Raptors select Damon Stoudemire from the University of Arizona.
With an up-tempo and running gun type of game, that's going to fit me to a T. And so I don't know how much I'm going to have to change my game, but I'm willing to do anything I can to help this Toronto Raptors organization be successful.
Inside for Tabak. Alvin Robertson for three. There is the first ever basket scored by a Toronto Raptor, a three-pointer.
At this time, I'd like to introduce the Rookie of the Year, Damon Stoudemire.
It took the NBA a year to figure out what Damon Stoudemire knew after just one game in the league.
I enjoyed my opportunity to be the head coach of Toronto Raptors very much. I also thank the team for working very hard. I would say to everybody in the Toronto that support this team, thank you. You're fantastic.
Under the terms of their expansion agreements, the Toronto Raptors and the Vancouver Grizzlies will take part in the lottery, but neither is eligible for the first pick in the draft. The best either can do is the second overall pick.
With the second pick in the 1996 NBA draft, the Toronto Raptors select Marcus Camby from the University of Massachusetts.
When you think about Toronto, they've got a guy that just drives the Bulls nuts at point guard, Damon Stoudemire.
The water bug, they call him Mighty Might. Look what he's done here, 20 points a game, 39% field goal shooting, but he always has that eye.
Third quarter, Stoudemire. And the ball comes back to Stoudemire, able to set up Camby. Camby now in his third start tonight in the NBA. Stoudemire.
With the 9th pick in the 1997 NBA draft, the Toronto Raptors select Tracy McGrady from Mount Zion Christian Academy.
And now Tracy McGrady at that small forward position. So it was a great pick for them, taking the best talent that they think for the next few years down the line.
We mentioned that it's the third year in a row that we've had a high school player selected.
Isaiah Thomas has fled the Raptors' nest, resigning over the toll his 9% ownership in the team was taking on his personal resources.
Economically, my pockets can't support my emotions. How's that?
And there is Butch Carter, who has done a fine job. Comes from a big basketball and sports family in Middletown, Ohio. His brother, Chris Carter, wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings.
I'm just glad that, the whole situation is over. It's been a stressful month and a half for me. I feel as if the city got shortchanged of what could have been in Toronto.
The Raptors received rookie Chauncey Billups, Dee Brown, Roy Rogers, but the big acquisition is Billups, a colorful, charismatic kid with enough talent and drive to fill the void left by the departure of Damon Stoudemire.
Short-handed, waiting for their players to join the rest of the team as McGrady rocks the rim with the one-handed throwdown.
And Bert, you were mentioning what position right there.
With the 4th pick in the 1998 NBA Draft, the Toronto Raptors select Antoine Jameson from the University of North Carolina. Toronto has traded the rights to Antoine Jameson to Golden State for the rights to Vince Carter plus cash consideration.
Picks up his third foul down the other end. Camby makes his move. Marcus Camby, what a play! With authority.
Yeah, and a reverberating rim rocker by Camby over Mutombo.
Na 6. miejscu znalazł się Chauncey Billups z Denver Nuggets.
Great feed from Chauncey. The guys running the floor all the way.
Carter, more than just a scorer and a spectacular player, actually has the highest number of block shots in the league for a player who is not a center or a power forward. So he'll do it at both ends.
The total package. It was hit 20 from downtown this year. 20 of the... Vince Carter showing you some of the highlight reel. Brings the crowd alive. And he gets a hand from the crowd.
The next of the next Michael Jordans.
It is a compliment. Don't get me wrong, by far it's a compliment. But it's all about your own identity. You always want to be your own man. Like I say, it all comes with time and patience.
Antonio Davis had some good years there in Indiana.
I thought he was one of the reasons they were so tough.
Well, he and Dale Davis, those years, the Davis boys played very big inside.
This role I've actually started to take on is that to score more and be a go-to guy. I'm just trying to do everything I could just to play well. I figure at the end of the year, whoever they feel deserves it.
McGrady clearing the rebound. 4-point lead for the Hornets. And the Carter from McGrady, a one-handed put through by Vince Carter. And the first time we have heard more than a murmur.
And here is Vince Carter with his first shot.
Let's go home! Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen! Let's go home! Let's go home!
Stolen by Oakley. The lob. The fans got what they wanted. Okay, have your cheers. Enjoy it.
And his Raptors are right now in free fall. They've lost 7 of their last 8 games. They've lost Eastern Conference playoff positioning. And maybe worse yet, they may have lost team chemistry. Rumors of discord emerging from the Toronto locker room.
McGrady gets it to Vince Carter. 2 seconds. 1 second. Beats the buzzer.
Vince Carter continues to grow in stature around the NBA.
The New York Knicks complete the sweep of the Toronto Raptors and will move to the second round to face their arch rival, the Miami Heat. New York ends the game on a 9-2 run when the game was on the line.
I think we were surprised that so much of it surrounded Butch Carter and his defamation of character lawsuit.
Probably not the best 48 hours or 72 hours for Butch Carter when all is said and done after all of that.
With the 21st pick in the 2000 NBA Draft, the Toronto Raptors select Morris Peterson from Michigan State University.
You know, the Raptors, we thought we was just going to run all over them. You know, we didn't think they belonged on the court with us, but, you know, for them to go out and play hard 48 minutes, you know, just even made my decision a lot easier.
Everyone trying to play defense more than anything. In practice, we push each other. We go through a lot of one-on-one drills and stuff that, you know, makes you stand up and you just have to play your guy. And then we're just out there trying to help each other.
Now you got the opportunity to play again with Tracy. What it means to you?
It's just going to be a good feeling. You know, we're both in the All-Star game together. We're both getting the opportunity to showcase our talent. And, you know, we're just going to have fun.
And a jailbreak for the Raptors. Counted 4-on-1 up.
They can go home happy right now. And the game is over. The Toronto Raptors coming in, and in only their second year making the playoffs, move along and will face the Philadelphia 76ers. 101-89, and a standing ovation for the crowd here as the Raptors, who are resilient amidst all the squawking and all the criticism of their coaches, players talking maybe too much. It doesn't matter.
joined his fellow graduates in the class of 2001. Then at about 11 o'clock, he boarded the private plane of the Raptors team owner. Vince arrived at about 12:15, 5 hours and 15 minutes before the game.
Curry has it. Carter trying to get free. Carter at the buzzer. No good. And the Sixers hold on and advance to the conference finals.
Vince, meanwhile, has dropped anchor in Toronto, signing a 6-year, $94 million contract, ensuring that Raptor fans will be subjected to steady doses of Vinsanity for a long time to come.
At center, 7 foot from Houston, number 34, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon.
Everything that's possible, or that's needed in my game to be effective. I like to have fun out there, and I work on my game to make myself better, make the team better. So I just put a lot of work in, and paying off. That injury occurred to my knee. I ended up getting the surgery. The biggest mistake I think I made, we let the pressure of the media and or fans say, oh, he's not this, he's not that, he needs to get back on the court. If you're not 100%, it's all about longevity.
11 on the shot clock. Vince driving over Stackhouse to the cup with a right-handed dunk. Are you kidding me? Air Canada soaring here in Motown. This crowd is buzzing here.
Plenty of time. Giles driving it in on the run. Wild shot, the rebound. Robinson. The game is over. Look at this. It's not over. Now it's over. There was plenty of time.
Hakeem Olajuwon will retire in a day or two after 2 decades in our spotlight, the vagaries of age and injury finally taking their toll. You may choose to remember him in years to come for that smooth little jumper from the baseline.
The Toronto Raptors need Vince Carter. They need his scoring. They need his leadership. And Vince Carter, one of the most exciting players in the NBA. But for Vince, he's capable of making those type of shots. Very explosive to the basket.
Vince Carter, come on, you got to be kidding me. If I'm Vince Carter, I'm going to feel pretty funny walking in that locker room at the start in the All-Star game when I've played 10 games this season and missed all those games, injury after injury. He has not been there. They haven't been able to count on him. I'm not knocking Vince Carter because he's been hurt.
Swings it right side. Carter at the foul line. All the time with a right-handed monster jam. He just posterized Tim Duncan with a little salsa on it. My goodness, are you kidding me?
Kevin O'Neal, last couple of seasons an assistant with Detroit. The first time head coach in the NBA, his inaugural season in Toronto, where the Raptors were 24-58 over the retired Lenny Wilkins.
And the 4th pick goes to the Toronto Raptors, which is in their spot as well.
With the 4th pick in the 2003 NBA Draft, the Toronto Raptors select Chris Bosh from Georgia Tech University.
Success comes through working hard. And I believe if I keep working hard, the sky's the limit. And I will continue to do so, Hopefully one day, I can be a big-time player and can, and a big-time winner too.
So you played with Vince Carter for 16 games now. Are you getting used to him?
And I think that once we get used to one another, where everybody likes the ball and what people going to do with their strengths and weaknesses, we're going to be a force in this Eastern Conference as the season goes on.
Your general manager gave a State of the Union address to the media about your team, about the rumors that your team is divided, about the rumor that the coach is out.
There's reports, as they say in the media, that Vince is not out of the question of being traded.
It's a tough time for this organization. We're 1-10. It's not easy. The team's down. We have a lot of injuries. People's confidence is shaken. Obviously, they're upset. I'm a little upset too.
For the Hornets. Quick shot, Stacey Augmon. Not happening.
Bosh, power move, and the dunk! Right in the grill of Jamal Aglar! Counted and a foul! Oh my goodness!
The Toronto Raptors hired Timberwolves Vice President Rob Babcock to be the team's general manager a month after they declined to give him the job. Raptors declined to hire Julius Erving, who Vince Carter backed for the job.
With the 8th pick in the 2004 NBA Draft, the Toronto Raptors select Rafael Araujo.
Do everybody a favor, quit.
They know who they are because I told them. They need to quit. It's embarrassing. We had guys in there had a stat line 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I mean,
he was dealing with injuries, losing, controversy, including questions about his effort and his desire.
It was just frustrating. Mentally, I was still there 100%. It's just weighing on my body more than anything. It was just time to go.
But as usual, the Raptors revolve around their star, Vince Carter.
Well, their stars had some difficulties in the early going. He is an all-star, but career 24-point-a-game scorer, just averaging 15 so far this year.
And Sam Mitchell made a comment to Vince about always being injured and always being on the training table. Before you know it, they tangled up and they really trying to slam each other on the ground. But obviously their relationship was never the same at that point.
Vince corner right here. The penetration, going to the bucket, and he trips.
He suffered what appears to be a leg injury on a drive.
Right there, you can tell on the penetration.
I was just fortunate enough to have the talent and be able to, you get spoiled when you're able to do a lot of things and you see that and you really don't have to work at it. But now I think with so much, with all the injuries and the things that's going on, I have to work a little harder.
Vince Carter has received a standing ovation that has brought tears to his eyes. At first, a lot of fans started booing, and then they started rising.